Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the There's No Undefeated Teams Left in the NFL podcast. I am your host, Adrian Jimenez, here today with a new video. It is nice, beautiful Wednesday uh, afternoon. I guess it's a little rainy outside, but hope you all having a blessed day. We're gonna get right into this. If you're wondering why this looks different, because I'm not recording with my phone. If you see me looking over here a lot, it's because my computer's right here. I have my webcam going, recording with my voice memos because today is a special kind of video. At the end of this video, I'm going to be revealing something. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's going to be something. We're going to get right into this normal stuff. We're going to talk about week 6, preview to week 7, offensive player, defensive player of the week, a little bit of news, and then that big news coming. So
we hit the jackpot this time.
Week 6 started off with Denver versus Kansas City. My game picks, I went 9-6. Not great, but we'll do better next week. Excuse me. All right. So Denver versus Kansas City Thursday night football. I picked Kansas City. I got this right. Kansas City offensively looked like Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes is going to have a fantastic game, but it's Mahomes. He's probably going to bounce back. Kelsey, stuff like that. His receivers are actually playing pretty well. Rashee Rice and Watson. I forget his first name. Is it Jalen or something like that? Jalen Watson. Very underrated in my opinion. I like them both. They're playing pretty well. Denver defensively, they didn't play awful. They got that pick against Mahomes. Mahomes just chucked it up there. Just the same as got that pick at that goal line. Offensively, they just look bad. It was not a fun matchup for them. Next game, Baltimore versus Tennessee. I had Baltimore in this game. Got that right. Offensively for Baltimore, they looked all right. They're 5-1. This is probably ideal for them. I mean, obviously, ideal is undefeated. They lost to the Colts, but you can't change that. 5-1 is probably the next best option, obviously. Offensively, they didn't look bad. Defensively, they played pretty well. They got a few picks on Tannehill. Tannehill also got injured. Hopefully, he feels better. He comes back healthier. Tennessee, offensively, like I said, Tannehill didn't play great. I think Tennessee should move on from him. Get in one of these young guys like Malik Willis or Will Levis or something like that. They need to change that culture up because obviously it's not working. Defensively, they let up a few big plays. They didn't play bad, but they got a pick. So Tennessee needs to change their quarterback. Carolina versus Miami. This was my lock of the week, and I had Miami in this game, and I got that right. Miami offensively, we started off slow with the 14-0, 14-0 start, but we didn't play bad, I guess. We played pretty well offensively. Defensively, we could not stop the run. We could not stop Adam Thielen. I think Adam Thielen and that Bryce Young Adam Thielen connection is going to be very, very underrated because, I mean, we've already seen what it does now, but at the end of the season, I think we're going to really appreciate it. Bryce Young hasn't been playing great, but he hasn't been playing bad. He's on Carolina. You can't really expect much from him. They cannot get the run game going. They cannot do a lot of things. So they're on a bye this week, so hopefully they can figure that out. New Orleans versus Houston. I had Houston in this game. I got it right. Honestly, I don't really know what happened in this game because same time as mine, I didn't really watch it. Red Zone didn't really put it on TV. But I just know C.J. Stroud, he threw his first pick, unfortunately, but he's still playing like a great quarterback. Washington versus Atlanta. I had Atlanta in this game. I got it wrong. Desmond Ridder is giving me migraines. He makes me so mad. I didn't think Washington was going to win this game because they lost to the Bears. I was just super optimistic with the Falcons, but apparently it's not even the Falcons' fault. It's Desmond Ritter. They need to eventually move on from him too. Hope maybe pick somebody up at or trade for somebody at the trade deadline or something because they need to fix that offense. Just him. Like the whole offense itself is playing well, except for Desmond Ritter. I feel like it's gonna be a redo of Marcus Mariota, where they're close with these games, but then one bad decision is gonna like lead this team to an L. So hopefully they can figure out that situation and have a better season. Indy versus Jacksonville. I had Jacksonville in this game, got it right. Uh, Indy with Anthony Richardson, he's out for the rest of the year. I think that was the best decision for them because what's it called? They weren't just gonna throw him in and hopefully like pad his stats and stuff. They're gonna sit him down and let him rest the rest of the year, be ready for next year. When he was playing one of the best rookie quarterbacks in a while. But it was unfortunate he had to go down with that shoulder injury. Gardner Minshew, I don't think he's going to be the answer for this team. I think their season's looking like it's going down. Jacksonville, and then Trevor Lawrence got hurt. Heard he was going to play in that Thursday night football game, but we got to be a little concerned about that because he hasn't been playing like a great quarterback, and then you add that injury to it, it's gonna hurt a little bit. Seattle versus Cincinnati. I had Seattle in this game, got it wrong. Cincinnati's looking like the offense that we assumed. Their defense has been playing pretty well. Same thing. Okay, I'm gonna go back to KC quick. Their defense has been playing the best out of every defense we've seen that Patrick Mahomes has had as a starter. I feel like this is their best defense that they've had in a while. Okay, back to Cincinnati. Their defense has been playing pretty well. Seattle, Gino's a good quarterback. Gino's a veteran quarterback, so he's gonna make a lot of the right decision a lot of the time. But they need to fix that offensive line. I was watching that game and this made me so mad. The Seahawks were at the 1 yard line, and then it was penalty after penalty after penalty, and they were first and goal at the 20. I was like, how did they get backed up so far? But Gino doesn't have enough time to throw the ball because of that offensive line. Like offensively, defensively, they're playing so well and they can be a playoff team. They just need to fix that offensive line. Minnesota versus Chicago. I had Chicago in this game. Got it wrong. I don't know why I picked Chicago. Like I said, I was super optimistic about them beating Washington, and then Justin Fields got hurt. Their backup came in. Minnesota just ran away with it. So, yeah, Minnesota hasn't been playing great either. But, you know, you can only do so much. San Francisco versus Cleveland. I knew going into this game, this was going to be a great, great defensive battle. And I was right. I had San Francisco in this game, but I'm okay with being wrong. I'm totally okay with it because Cleveland played one of the best defensive games I've ever seen. Like everybody on that defense was playing beautifully. Like San Francisco, they only held Brock Purdy to 100 yards, touchdown, and he threw his first pick of the year. Like Brock Purdy's a winner. He just took his first L as a starter against Cleveland. San Francisco's offense, it's gonna be okay. They lost Debo and Christian McCaffrey in that game. Christian McCaffrey left, then he came back, and then he left again. But I heard he's most likely going to play in that Monday Night Football game. He has a few more days to rest and get ready, so hopefully he can come back and be stronger. Debo, I'm not sure about that one, but I feel like they'll be just fine against Minnesota. New England versus Vegas. I had Vegas in this game, got it right. They needed this win. Vegas needed this win really bad. Offensively, they didn't look terrible. Devontae Adams. Oh my God, Devontae Adams got lit up. So hopefully I think he played the rest of the game, but hopefully he can stop taking hits like that and he'll be fine. Um, Defensively, they had a decent game, but it was against New England, so you can't really like praise it that much. Um, Mac Jones, he I don't know what's going on over there. He's just not good. Like if you have the greatest coach of all time and you're playing and he can't do anything with this offense, then you need to flip this team around. This team needs to do a whole rebuild. It's concerning because it's Bill Belichick. Like, you know what I mean? Um, and then defensively, they really couldn't. I mean, they lost. Like, whatever. Detroit versus Tampa. I had Detroit in this game and got it right. Detroit's 5-1. That is very, very good for them. Um, what's it called? Jared Goff has been playing like a top 10 quarterback, super consistent. Amon Ra, great wide receiver. Their running back room is great. Tampa, Baker Mayfield didn't have a great game, but that was destined to happen eventually. Like he's just known to do that. Defensively, they really couldn't stop Detroit. Like it was bad. Arizona versus the Rams. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really watch this game either, but um, the Rams are just like Cooper Cup, Puka Nakua. That combo, they literally clone Cooper Cup, and it's not fair. Philly versus New York. I had Philly in this game. Oh, I had Rams in that game. I got it right. Philly and New York. I had Philly in that game, but I feel like everybody else did too. So I'm not mad about being wrong with this one. Um, Philly, Jalen Hurts, really bad game. Three picks, one touchdown. That Jets defense is. I told you. I've said this to a lot of people. I've that Jets defense is something else. Like they're the only thing keeping the Jets into this season. Like they're at 500 because they are playing out of their minds. Zach Wilson, I mean, he didn't have a bad game, so good. I mean, good for him. Um, Buffalo versus New York. Man, I don't know what happened with Buffalo. Like they could not do anything in this game. New York's defense was playing pretty well. Their offense playing pretty well too with Tyrod Taylor. I think they should stick with Tyrod Taylor for the rest of the year, but they probably won't because they paid Daniel Jones so much. But if I was the Giants, I would try to get Tyrod Taylor as many touches as possible. This was my loser pick, so I was a little nervous the entire time. Buffalo got away with it. They got away with it. Dallas and the Chargers on Monday Night Football. I had the Chargers in this game, and I got it wrong. I was very close to picking the Dallas Cowboys, but I rewatched the video and I literally like went through the entire roster, and I was like, I think the Chargers are gonna win. Um, Obviously they didn't, but that wasn't the defense's fault. Justin Herbert had a real like one of his worst games I've ever seen him play. Dak had a really good game. He had a passing touchdown on Brandon Cooks. By the way, that throw was beautiful. Backing up, he dropped back like 15 yards and just lobbed it to Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks fought for it, caught it. Great pass. That read option touchdown that Dak ran in was beautiful too. I like it was like fourth and one on like the Chargers 10. I was like they're 18 because it was like an 18-yard run. He read option to Tony Pollard, and I thought Pollard had the ball, and he got stopped behind the goal line, and I was like, oh, the Chargers made a defensive stop, and then Dak just kept running, and I was like, oh, he got me too. So, Dallas's defense played pretty well. They had a few. They made the Chargers go 3-and-out a few times. Yeah. Besides Justin Herbert playing bad, the Chargers didn't really like lose this game. Okay, that didn't make sense. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say though. Like Dallas just had a great game. Chargers need to fix some things and get some real fans. All right, so that's week 6. 9-6 on my game picks. Whatever. I'll do better next week. Week 7. Leading off tomorrow with Jacksonville versus New Orleans. Thursday night football. In this game, I'm going to go with Jacksonville. I was a little iffy about it because I wasn't 100% sure that Trevor Lawrence was going to play, but I saw that he was. I think New Orleans isn't really going to do anything against that offense, even if Trevor Lawrence is going to play. Travis Etienne has been playing pretty well too, so I'm gonna go with Jacksonville on this one. Cleveland versus Indianapolis. I'm gonna make this my lock of the week. I'm gonna go Cleveland over Indy. Like I said, the Cleveland's defense played out of their minds. Indy Gardner Minshew's not gonna really be able to do anything against that front seven and that secondary. So I'm gonna go Cleveland in this game. Buffalo versus New England. I'm gonna go with Buffalo. Like I said, New England needs to turn this team around because it is not looking good. So I'm gonna go Buffalo on this one. They just been playing too. I mean, besides last game, Josh Allen has been playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Washington versus New York. I have Washington on this, but honestly, I think I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna go with New York. So I'm gonna change this live on the show. I'm gonna change it. So I just erased Washington. Grab my marker. Hold on. And I'm gonna go with New York. I'm gonna put boom, New York Giants. And if that comes back to haunt me, then I'll never pick New York again. Tyrod Taylor played a great game. Washington's defense isn't great. That New York offense is average, but then their defense is gonna stop Washington. Sam Howell had a great game last week though. Man, he played well. But I'm still gonna go with New York. Detroit versus Baltimore. I'm gonna go with Detroit. They're one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. 5-1 versus 5-1. It's gonna be a great game. But I'm gonna go with Detroit. Jared Goff has been playing, like I said, like a top 10 quarterback, super consistent. Lamar's had a few up and down games. I mean, it's in Baltimore, but I'm gonna go with Detroit. Vegas versus Chicago. I'm gonna go with Vegas. Chicago lost Justin Fields. Their defense isn't looking great, so I'm going to go with Vegas. Atlanta versus Tampa. I think that Tampa defense is going to smother Desmond Ridder, so I'm going to go with Tampa on this game. Tampa's defense is pretty underrated. Baker Mayfield's going to have a decent game. If they can get that run game started, then I think I'm going to go Tampa on this game. Pittsburgh versus the Rams. I'm going to go with the Rams. TJ Watt might have like 7 sacks in this game, but I think Pittsburgh offense isn't gonna really get it going. So I'm gonna go Rams. Arizona versus Seattle. I'm gonna go Seattle. Arizona's pass rush isn't great. Like I said, the Seattle offensive line isn't great either, but Seattle's just a better team than Arizona, so I'm gonna go Seattle. Green Bay versus Denver. I'm gonna go with Green Bay here. They coming straight off the bye, so they're pretty well rested. I'm gonna go with Green Bay. The Chargers versus the Chiefs. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs because why not? They're a better team. The Chargers have been playing pretty well, or haven't been playing pretty well. So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. And then I'm gonna skip that game. I'm gonna come back to that one. Monday Night Football, we got San Francisco versus Minnesota. I gave a little hint to it earlier. I'm going to go with San Francisco because Minnesota's defense isn't great. They're a little better than last year, but San Francisco's offense is too good. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go San Francisco. Now, Sunday Night Football. My Miami Dolphins versus the Philadelphia Eagles. This could be the greatest game of the year. Best game of the year, easily, prime time. I'm really going to break this down, and then I'm going to tell you my pick. So, Miami, offensively, We have the number one offense in the league, passing, like total offense, passing, rushing, everything about it is number one. Tua is my MVP frontrunner right now. For 1,800 yards, 14 touchdowns, 5 picks, um, most passes, most yards per attempt, second best quarterback rating, second best uh, completion percentage, and then on the ground, Raheem Mostert is coming off another hat trick. Like, man, this guy loves his hat tricks. Um, I don't think he's gonna have as good as a game against Carolina because one, Carolina's not great, and Philly has one of the best defensive lines in the league. So I don't think he's gonna have the greatest game, but through the air, it's gonna be a dogfight. And then Philly offensively, they lost Lane Johnson, which is really unfortunate. Um, it's gonna be a little blow to the line. Um, what else? Jalen Hurts, he's coming off that bad game against New York, but New York's defense is better than Miami's, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt there. Um, DeAndre Swift he's gonna have a great game. We can't stop the run, so I think DeAndre Swift's gonna have a great game. We're gonna put Xavier Howard on AJ Brown probably, and then probably gonna get Cater Kohu in the slot against Devontae Smith, and then we're probably gonna get Eli Apple on either Quez Watkins or um, Zacchaeus. So that's gonna be tough. And then we're probably gonna put like Deshaun Elliott or Javon Holland on Dallas Goedert. So all of our our secondary is gonna have a tough day. If we can stop that run and contain them, try and not let the deep plays go because the Eagles they love those deep shots to AJ Brown and Smith. If we can contain those and stop the run, I think Miami's gonna win. I have so the winner of this game. I put Miami. One, we are coming off a win. We're back-to-back wins against, not great teams, but we are just playing so well. Mike McDaniel has changed his entire team. I said this. I think it was Sam the other day. I said if Mike McDaniel can eventually get us a Super Bowl, 100%, he's the second greatest Dolphins head coach ever. Like number one's obviously gonna be Don Shula. Like everybody knows this, he's got the undefeated season, whatever. But I think if we eventually win a Super Bowl with Mike McDaniel, he's gonna be the second greatest Dolphins head coach of all time. He's changed his team completely. I'm so happy he's our coach. He just brings a great environment. He brings the best out of these players, and he's just an evil genius. So I have Miami in this game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, offensive player of the week, defensive player of the week. I'm going to go with offensive player of the week. I'm going to go with Jared Goff. 30 for 44, 68% completion percentage, 353 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Jared Goff, like I said, top 10 quarterback, super consistent. He did it against a decent Tampa Bay defense. I'm going to go with Jared Goff. Now, defensive player of the week. Maybe you guys are going to look at me weird, but I think this is perfect. I'm going to go with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from the Cleveland Browns. 3 tackles, 1 sack. Now, you're going to be like, 3 tackles, 1 sack? That's not a great stat line. That doesn't matter. I saw a TikTok earlier where somebody was breaking down his game film. Man, he was everywhere. He was step for step with Christian McCaffrey. He had a pass deflection. He just looked fantastic. So, he's my defensive player of the week. Now, going into some news. I saw today that Jalen Ramsey is practicing. Yes. I am so happy. He cut his hair. He said it's the new beginning. whatever. I don't care about his hair. I care about his playing ability. I don't think he's definitely not gonna play against Philly, which I mean is unfortunate. We need him, but he could play against New England, and he's most likely gonna play against Kansas City in Germany. So good to see him back. I'm happy. Uh, I can't wait to see his debut. Um, so yeah, Kyler Murray came back today. He's practicing. I don't know if he's gonna play against Seattle. I'm not 100% sure. If he does, I'm still gonna go with Seattle. But it's good to see he's back. We had a few injuries in the week, like I said, like Ryan Tannehill, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Anthony Richardson, stuff like that. So I put injuries on here, but I already kind of like talked about it a little bit. Another thing that I saw was Roger Goodell extended his contract to be the NFL commissioner. Congrats to him. I think he's a great commissioner. I mean, there's a lot of things that you know he could fix, but that's just for everything. He's been a good commissioner for a while, so I'm glad to see him that he's gonna be here for a few more years. One more thing before we get into the big thing. Um, teams on bye this week are the Carolina Panthers, uh, Cincinnati Bengals. I keep putting Chicago for Cincinnati. It confuses me. Carolina Panthers, Cincinnati Bengals, Dallas Cowboys, Houston Texans, New York Jets, and the Tennessee Titans. So hopefully you guys can all rest your players. Hopefully they come back better. Enjoy your days off. Now, this is what y'all have been waiting for. So, oh man, I'm excited. Now, the other day, I did the TikTok things. I said, ask me some questions. You asked me some questions. I posted them on TikTok. And like I said, go watch them. One of them was, what is one of your plans for the future of the show? And if you didn't watch that video, I'll throw it up here right now. Just so you can watch it, I'll throw it up here right now. Next step for the podcast. Next step, I feel like would definitely get Ryan back onto it. We started this together. We're gonna continue this together. This isn't just my show. This is his show too. Get him back into it. I want to get some merch out. It's hard. We don't have a logo yet. That's another big thing. If somebody on here can make me a logo, I will pay you a good amount of money for it. Get a logo, make some merch, and then later in the future, I mean, have some guests on here. If anybody wants to be on the show, just let me know. Try to just build this to get it bigger. We started in a cabin in Wisconsin, and hopefully it can get us somewhere in life that I'm comfortable. So in that video, I explain how I want a logo and how we're gonna make merch eventually. In the comments, my sister's friend Hannah, shout out Hannah because she got this done for me. She told me that her sister likes to do like graphic design and stuff like that. So I told her to hit me up. We can work something out and get this done. And I was super serious about it. And her sister DM'd me and we had a conversation. I gave her the general idea of what I want a logo to look like. And she came back to me a few days later with the sketches, and man, can I say these were amazing. So then she hit me up a few more days later, and I saw the final product, and I am proud to reveal the new Let's Talk About It logo. The Let's Talk About It, like, this is gonna be the face of our show for a while. Now that we have this logo, I'm gonna talk to Ryan and start making some merch. Hopefully, I'll start making some merch and really getting this started. So, without further ado, here is the new Let's Talk About It logo. Right, bang. Tell me that ain't beautiful. Hannah and Ashley, I appreciate everything you've done for us. This means a lot to me. I appreciate it. Merch coming soon, like I said. Besides that, I think that's it. Hopefully, you guys all enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment what you think about the logo. Um, Make sure to share it to your mom, your dad, your sister, grandma, everything about it. Everybody you know. Post it on your Instagram story. Put it on Facebook, Reddit, Tinder. Put it in your Tinder bio. I want you to put the link to our show or to our channel in your Tinder bio. But besides that, I think that's it. So, say it with me, y'all. See ya.